Hello everyone, it's Bashrob here, and today I'll show you how to stay in building mode outside of customizable areas. This is yet another handy exploit that lets us get some decorations that are normally unobtainable, as they all happen to be outside, but for some reason are still considered decorations that you can pick up. To use building mode anywhere, we need to be pushed out of a building far enough and cancel the prompt asking us to leave building mode. For that, we need to find a building that doesn't require a loading screen to enter and has doors that open inward. Then it's just a matter of finding the perfect spot to stand in the doorway, close the doors, and if you get pushed out far enough and cancel the prompt fast enough, you will stay in building mode and be able to move around the map. This might take a few attempts, particularly when doing it for the first time, and some buildings are easier to glitch out of than others. If you're trying this for the first time, I can recommend any of the lookouts in Mystery Lake, Coastal Highway or Bleak Inlet, or the Mountaineer's Hut in Timberwolf Mountain. There are some regions that have a no loading screen building that's customizable, but there's no door at the entrance, or the door opens outward. It's still possible to glitch out of those by placing furniture on top of yourself, which should teleport you, but you usually get teleported inside, so it can be pretty tricky. A few tips to make this easier. First, you need to find furniture large enough to block out most of the doorway. Some furniture is more effective at pushing you out than others. I noticed that these shelves are quite effective in particular. Then, it's about finding the perfect spot for the furniture and either get pushed out or just walk out on your own. Both can work. If the furniture is placed wrong, one of two things will happen. If you get teleported back to the doorway, you probably didn't place the furniture far enough, so you'll have to readjust it. Alternatively, you might get teleported all the way inside. In this case, you put the furniture too far out, so readjust in the opposite direction. Eventually, you'll find the sweet spot and get pushed just outside, like you would if you were pushed by a closing door, and after that it's just a matter of cancelling the prompt at the right time again to not get teleported back inside anyway. Getting this right might take some time at first, but once you get the hang of it, it will be pretty easy to do on your first try. Since this glitch is only possible in buildings that don't have a loading screen, and since you cannot stay in building mode when moving between regions, this glitch is impossible to set up in certain regions, such as Hushed River Valley or Forlorn Muskeg. And out of regions you can do this in, some are still harder than others, because it really depends on the building you're trying to glitch out of and the available furniture. Pleasant Valley is easily the trickiest region to utilize this trick in, as the only no loading screen customizable interior is the porch of the farmstead, and building any furniture there is quite difficult because of its size. You may have to use the binding glitch to even properly place furniture at the doorway to let you glitch out, but it definitely is possible. Once you do manage to push yourself out using furniture, remember the first thing you should always do is move the furniture at the entrance further back. Otherwise, you might block yourself out of entering that building ever again, as you won't be able to enter building mode or break down the furniture blocking the doorway from the outside. To be safe, you should probably only use furniture that can be broken down outside customization mode, so that you can break the furniture down and re-enter the safe house if you mess up. Now we're all set up to explore the best interior of them all, the outside. Remember, exiting building mode saves your game and can be used as a one-time save anywhere you want, which can be quite convenient. Another, less obvious thing is that customization mode lets you walk past transitions without triggering them. This isn't too useful as there's never anything in there, but it could be useful in Forlorn Muskeg to finally reach all this damn coal without transitioning to Bleak Inlet, but sadly there's no interiors in Muskeg to glitch out of. The most you're gonna find in the regions you can glitch in is probably this car and long curve. But walking past transitions can still be useful if you want to fall out of bounds of a map. If you've never done that, this basically teleports you to the region's default spawn. Not something you'd use every day, but might come in handy sometime. But of course the most obvious reason to be in building mode outside is to take all those juicy forbidden decorations sitting there. So what's worth taking and where is it? Let's start with the obvious ones, suitcases. Everyone loves suitcases as they're the only storage that can be picked up, which makes them quite special. While they do spawn inside, you can only find about a dozen or so, and as mentioned in the previous video, one of the variants is completely unobtainable outside of stocked bunkers. Luckily, the Coastal Highway plane crash always has this missing suitcase variant and one more suitcase. BlackRock also has a single suitcase outside, but the vast majority of suitcases outside will be at the Pleasant Valley plane crash. The number of suitcases depends on game difficulty. On Pilgrim you can find up to 38 suitcases here. The suitcase variants spawned here are random. And remember, you cannot pick up containers that weren't searched beforehand, so make sure to do that before glitching out. While you could technically find more suitcases via beachcombing, any containers spawned via beachcombing cannot be interacted with even in customization mode, so these are sadly off limits. Pleasant Valley has much more to offer though. The small garden area in Thompson's Crossing has a bunch of shelves that are normally unique to the island cottage in Forsaken Airfield, so if you wanted extra shelves like these, you're in luck. Thompson's Crossing even has a sign that is completely unobtainable inside, the foreclosure notice hanging on some houses. In general, unique signs are the most common special decorations that can only be found outside. While PV only has the foreclosure notice, BlackRock is the king of unique signs, with 15 types of signs that are normally unobtainable, found both around the region and inside the prison area. There are two more outside-only signs here that cannot be obtained even with this trick, as they're stuck inside the prison fence and cannot be interacted with, but maybe one day it will get fixed. However, given you're not even supposed to be in building mode here, the chances are probably slim. Transfer Pass, Zone of Contamination and Sundered Pass also have a few outside-only trophy signs, but there's also something more special here. These wooden barrels can be picked up as well. There's a ton of them around the far territories, but only one very specific type can be picked up for some reason. In total, there are 8 of these barrels between Airfield, Zone of Contamination and Sundered Pass. And perhaps the most unique and interesting decorations one can only find outside are animal skulls. There's a few deer skulls, normally only obtainable in prepper caches, but perhaps even more interesting are the 2 types of bear skulls. These are found strictly outside. The first type is found at the plane crash in Mountain Town. There's 2 more in Ash Canyon, but that's a no-glitch region, so technically this skull is one of a kind. The second type is even more rare, only found in Pleasant Valley Bear Caves. The problem is, these bear caves only have the skull if the bear spawns, and which bears spawn on your run is completely random. So even going as far as glitching outside customizable areas might not be enough to guarantee you'll get one of these on your runs. That's it for animal skulls, but there's also one human skull that can be obtained in Zone of Contamination. Luckily, this one is guaranteed, so all you gotta do is walk up to Boss's settlement and grab it. In the previous video, we learned there used to be buffer memory computers that could be moved. And this is still currently possible with one computer, one of the few buffer memories found outside, the Chasm Cave memory in Timberwolf Mountain. And this laptop is actually quite special for 2 reasons. First, The buffer memory laptop model is slightly different from other laptops, and unlike all other laptops in the game, it glows during auroras. And now that the Desolation Point laptop is no longer movable, the Chasm Cave is the only location where you can get your hands on this type of laptop. Second, this is the only decoration in the entire game that you can obtain an infinite amount of times. The game treats buffer memory computers as special, so if you try to move it, the game will move it back next time you load into Timberwolf Mountain. But if you stash the stolen Chasm Cave laptop in a decoration box, the game will let you keep it and just spawns a new one in Chasm Cave again, allowing you to repeat this as many times as you want. That's it for special, outside only decorations. Note that building mode outside allows you to grab more than just decorations you can pick up. Any furniture you find outside can be brought back inside the safe house as well. Ever wanted the drawers from fishing huts in your safe house? Now you can just carry them in. It can be a bit tedious though, as you're not allowed to place anything while outside, so you have to right click and carry the furniture all the way back inside. Actually building furniture outside is not possible, at least not without introducing one final glitch. But that's for another time. Thanks for watching.